Welcome to the season finale of the Real Time Show. I'm your host, Winnie Maganga. Today's episode is a bit special because we'll be recapping of all the episodes of this season. The world is moving and moving fast. Everything is changing as quickly as it began. What has also changed is the role of a woman in a society. Woman has been and continues to be a child bearer, a role that has left many feel unfulfilled and inadequate.
Surrogacy is relatively new in Kenya, with the very first one being in 2007. However, this has become an immediate option for most women. Has the continued use of contraceptives led to infertility? How many are willing to hire the woman?
Being a surrogate mother, personally for me, it's no. Number one, I don't think it's not biblical. And number two, I won't be comfortable, carrying a baby in your womb for some time and then all of a sudden you have to give the baby away. There's that, according to psychology, there's that aspect, there's that connection between the mother and the baby when the baby is in the womb. So it's something that by the end of the day, it will really disturb my mind after I've given away the baby. So I won't want to be one.
Personally, I wouldn't be a surrogate mother. I prefer carrying something of my own. Spendi nikibeba kitu, najua kwamba at the end of 9 months hakitakuwa ni kitu cha kwangu. Kitakuwa ni kwamba kidogo itanisumbua sana roho mimi personally. So I wouldn't carry someone else's child.
On my side, I don't think if I allow my wife to baby another person pregnancy. The reason being, okay, first of all, she's my wife. And then I don't see the reason why she should be the one to carry the pregnancy for someone else. And as a matter of fact, I would advise them probably to go and adopt a kid somewhere, because hata kibeba hiyo ball, still bado it will kind of like be like ameadoptiwa, and then like sasa akishabeba na ball, my wife atapay attention kwa watoto wangu ama watoto mtu mwingine. Because mothers with these two emotional attachments, and then sasa she'll be like, oh, I have another kid somewhere else, I need to do what, blah blah blah. I don't think I will understand that. I don't think I will allow that.
Well, sometimes you never know something really until you get there. But as for me, I think probably I would agree to it, because as a mother, you would know what someone else is going through. So yeah, it depends on the situation. Maybe I would agree.
Welcome to the Real Time Show. Karibu sana mwalimu.
Thank you.
So kindly introduce yourself and give us an overview of what surrogacy is all about.
I'm called Mabel Adima. I teach sociology. I'm a sociologist by profession. It's an exciting one. And surrogacy comes in two ways. There are women who are looking for surrogacy just because they can afford. But there are desperate women who desperately need children, and they look for surrogates to do the siring for them.
Kindly explain the types of surrogacy we have.
There are basically those two. One where commercial element has come in. Women are finding alternatives to giving birth, and they are running away from it because they can do the same with another woman who carries the pregnancy to term and brings them the baby in time because they have a contract. Yes, but we also have women who are desperate. They have tried to get babies for many years, and it is proven that they cannot get a baby. So the doctor comes in to help them with this very expensive exercise where you borrow a uterus and sometimes you also borrow an egg so that you are getting a baby from another womb.
So with the borrowing of the uterus and the egg, are there any risks involved?
It's a strange thing for many of us in Africa. Yeah, it was never there before. In Africa, surrogation, you could adopt a baby, you could get another woman to get married to your husband so that he delivers for you. So it's a strange concept, but we should be very careful on being judgmental, because if you have never had a baby and you wanted a baby badly, it's only you who knows what you go through. So maybe it's your right to find out what's out there scientifically and find help.
Thank you.
The risk associated with the surrogacy procedure totally depends on the type of surrogacy used in Kenya.
button for the real-time show. My name is Angela.
She's one of the bravest, kind-hearted, and the most generous human being. She was dedicated and determined to put a smile on her cousin's face. Meet Esther Akinyi. Welcome to our studios.
Thank you.
I'll give you the privilege to introduce yourself. Who's Esther Akinyi?
My name is Esther Akinyi. I'm a mother of 2 sons and I'm also a surrogate mother. I work with an insurance company.
Okay, you've said you're a surrogate mom.
Oh, yes.
So how many times have you carried pregnancy?
4 times.
4 times?
Yeah.
Including the one that I'm seeing now?
This is the 4th one.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you married?
Oh yes, I'm married.
Uh-huh. How does your partner feel about you doing commercial surrogacy?
Initially he was for it because of our financial background.
Okay.
But of late, he's somehow complaining due to the fact that, there is time for pregnancy. There is time when you are pregnant that you cannot fully submit yourself to the husband and you just know the matters concerning the conjugal rights. So this brings a lot of chaos in the family, but anyway, I do it.
In that duration, have you had any complication during pregnancy and also during birth?
I haven't had any apart from the morning sickness, which is usual to all pregnant women.
And if I may ask, if a C-section was required, would you go for it?
If it is advice from the doctor, I will.
And don't you think it's enough sacrifice you've done for the couple?
But if that is what will help me, health-wise, I will go for it.
But you're putting your life in danger. You've already sacrificed yourself. You've already done a favor for them. You'll carry the pregnancy for the 9 months, yes. But this is another sacrifice you're doing. And a C-section, as we all know, it's not something you will start working immediately after 2 weeks.
Right.
You understand? Don't you think it's enough sacrifice you've done for them?
It's enough, but if it is the doctor's advice that I go under cesarean,
Okay.
I will have to because I have no other option.
And who would you want to be in that room? Either the parent, is it?
I would want my husband to be there,
Okay.
and the parents to the baby.
Why? Why would you want your husband to be there yet the child you're giving birth is not yours?
So that in case of anything, he is accountable, he is there for me. You know, these other parents, surrogate parents, these other parents that have hired me, the link is not that serious. It's only the baby. Yeah. But my husband, I think he will be there for me more than the other people. But I would like that they be there at 3 times.
You've said you've been a surrogate mom for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And you've given birth to 2 children who are not yours. In those times, is there a point you felt emotionally attached to these children, to these kids, now that they are infant, you didn't want to give them to the real parents?
That hasn't happened to me.
Why? It's normal.
I'm doing it for commercial purpose.
Okay.
So I can't again change my mind like I wanted the baby back. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's that emotional. It's being raised right from the word go when you get pregnant.
Let me tell you one thing. You know, I joined this business or this whatever because of my financial background.
Okay.
So having another person's child would mean that I'm adding burden to myself. I'm not ready for that.
So you don't feel anything?
I don't feel. I will give out easily.
Would you, if asked for a position or if asked for a chance, would you be a surrogate mom for the rest of your life?
I won't do it for long because the money I'm getting, I'm also investing somewhere so that I can improve my life. Not only giving back, it's also risky. So I won't do it forever.
Okay. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We are going for a short commercial break, and after you will have a hyper-local report.
Everybody coming to the interstellar party. Biddy bing, bing, biddy bing, bing, biddy bing. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody's happy in my super party. Biddy bing, bing, biddy bing, bing, biddy
everyone, my name is Newton Adika and I'm here around Leicester University, and I'm asking some of the youths around here if they'll allow their wives or their spouses to be a surrogate woman for another couple who lack the means of actually carrying a child. And I'm here joined by one of the most popular students at Leicester University, and this is Noah Muhindi. Noah, would you kindly tell the people if you'll allow your wife to be a surrogate woman?
Of course not. I wouldn't allow that to happen to my wife because I have principles, I have values. I know what I want to raise an able family, and for such a thing to happen, I think it will be going against my values and principle. For the other couple, yes, it's okay. It's sad they're not getting kids, but you know what? As they say, I cannot interfere with what God is trying to do in your life. If you can't make one, go adopt one. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Noah Muhindi. And I'm here joined by one noble man. Kindly tell us, would you allow your wife to be a surrogate woman for another couple?
Of course I can allow. Let's say you are not fortunate to have one. So when she will be doing that, actually she will be removing that feeling of not having a family. Thank you.
Well, that's all we've got here, and those are some of the information that the youths here at Leicester University managed to tell us if they'll allow another couple to come in to help them get a child. And that's all I've got here. I am Newton Adika and I'm signing out. Have a nice day.
Kenyan women continue to be marginalized in many areas of the society, especially in the sphere of leadership and decision making.
Women have been viewed not as leaders in the society, but as leaders in the family, something that has led to so many women being vocal in terms of leadership today.
It's a good thing to have ladies in key leadership positions because this transcends to the 2/3 gender rule. Even if we are not there at par, I think women having to sit on the table of decision making is a good progress for the country, and having to motivate women. However, I feel women empowerment should not be extreme on the side. We should also engage men in these forums and have both seats at the table of decision making.
Well, I think that it's good that women are actually in leadership positions at the moment. We've not achieved the 50-50 state that we are calling for, but I think it's good for women to have a voice. There was a time when women were somehow like dormant in like, let's say, leadership or let's say politics lane, and right now it's good to see that women are actually taking leadership position, and they're actually even doing better jobs and doing better work than even the men. Yeah, it's good.
So I think it's good that women are now in leadership positions. At least they have come out in large numbers, and it's good for the Kenyan politics, not that it was reserved for men. I believe that anyone can do anything, and so it's good that women are also taking up leadership positions. Yeah.
I caught up with two experts and they'll give their views on women and leadership. With me today, I'm joined by Hesbon Owila, a political analyst, a lecturer, and a PhD student in political communication. In the past election, we've seen two women being elected as governors. Do you think this trend will continue in the near future?
Well, it's likely to continue in the near future, and the election of Governor Anne Waiguru and Governor Joyce Laboso is actually trend in the right direction, so to speak. It will basically encourage young women outside there to start aspiring for leadership positions, which basically tells you that in the near future, a lot of women, a lot of young ladies will present themselves for these elective positions. I think to that end, you're likely to see an increase in the number of women both in parliament and in the executive elective position, that is the governor's position.
Okay, with the pace women are having right now, like everyone wants to be in leadership. As time goes by, are we going to have a female president?
Well, I think we need to take our ambitions with a little bit of caution. Having a woman president probably would be a good thing for Kenya, given that we've had, 4 presidents, and all these 4 have been men, and we've seen very little difference in terms of what Kenya was 50 years ago when we were getting independence and what Kenya is today. So maybe a woman with a maternal instinct, you're likely to get a totally different paradigm in terms of how the affairs of this country are going to be conducted. But in our generation, or let me say in our lifetime, I'm not so sure that is likely to happen. No one has come out forcefully as a woman, to look like they are close to even mounting a presidential campaign that would make them serious candidates.
Okay, it's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
With me today, I'm joined by Anne David. She's a mother of two, a lecturer, and a church leader. What's your take on women leadership now that women have decided they'll not take the kitchen roles, but rather vie for different positions in the parliament and in any other organization?
Well, I think this has been long coming, and probably the reason why women didn't do this much earlier is because less women were educated. So now that women have discovered the importance of education, they've gotten more marketable, and then they get positions.
Okay, do you think women are the enemies of their fellow women in terms of, progress, in terms of leadership or something of the sort?
You are your own worst enemy in this sense. If you choose to work hard and become what you want to be in life, it doesn't matter how many people discourage you, you will go against all odds to succeed. But generally speaking, based on the question you've asked me, it happens that many times women can be their own enemies, in the sense that you get more support from the male gender, even, with very clean motives, yet the women sometimes get intimidated when you begin to rise up, and even when you sort of want to take a management role, they sort of feel, what's the difference between you and I? So there can be that aspect, but at the end of the day, we can be our own worst enemies.
It's been nice having you.
Sure, anytime.
It has come to a time where women are joining the race, and as a society, we want to support them. Reporting for Real Time Show, I am Mary Kadede.
Quite a great information to learn from our reporter Mary Kadede. And in our show today, I'm glad to be joined by a young lady who's passionate about leadership, and she's also the DUSA chair lady, Miss Karitha Karimi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Briefly introduce yourself, who you are, and what do you do?
I'm Karitha Karimi. I'm the student president Daystar at Univa campus.
Why leadership and not any other field like business, science?
Well, for me, it just was, it came. It was that simple. It's an opportunity that presented itself, and I thought it was really out of my comfort zone, and I thought, why not take it? I don't stand to lose anything from trying.
Are you convinced that women have a bright future in Kenya in terms of leadership?
Yeah, not even just a bright future, but like even the past. Leadership does not necessarily mean having a post. People call you chairperson, call you mkubwa. It means being able to influence decisions, being able to... The thing is, someone has to lead. No, I don't necessarily think you should lead because you want to be a leader, but because in the way people organize themselves, there needs to be someone at the top. And since you're willing and able, you get there. But that can't be the driving aim of your life, that you want to be at the very top. At least for me, I don't think it should be like that. I think it shouldn't be something you chase with hunger, because a lot of people, to be honest, who chase these things with a lot of hunger, want it purely for the power. So I think looking back, I think women have been great leaders in Kenya. You have women like Field Marshal Muthoni in the Mau Mau, Mekatilili wa Menza, Mora of the Bagusi, the women who were sneaking food to the Mau Mau, and all the others whose names we don't know from the struggle for independence. And of course there are women like Wangari Maathai who were brave. There are women like Misha Remuko, who's a writer and a lecturer, and she taught, but even in that field she was leading because she was expressing herself truly. I think women have done a great job in Kenya so far, just that we don't always think of these types of things as leadership. But of course, going into the future, a lot of people are talking about women getting more into spaces like cabinet, as CEOs, as managers. I mean, that's great, because it's good to acknowledge women for the work that they do, because they are in these companies, they are working, so yes, give them these positions of authority. But what's more important for me is for us as a people just to change how we view leadership. Because if our view of leadership is wrong, even if it's a woman occupying it, it doesn't make it right.
Yeah. As we wrap up, what can you tell young aspiring ladies or women who would like to be leaders in future?
Well, one, you're already a leader. Okay? You don't need a post to be a leader. But it's great if you get one. But one, you're already a leader. As long as you have self-respect, you have compassion, and you believe in justice, you're already a leader. and as long as you're willing to somehow work with people, which can be very difficult. And then just do it. It's terrifying and it's hard, but you're not alone. And I know the political climate, especially of our country, is very difficult for anyone who wants to do a good job, and to be very honest. So it's tough, but if you want to do it, then you have to. You have to. You have to. You want to already. You will not forgive yourself if you don't do it. Yeah.
Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you for the inviting me.
Mgeni, pole, imejaa.
Nini? Tunakujua kwa nini wazee wetu wanapotelea kwako.
Ndio tulikuwa tunataka kujua siri yako.
Siri ndio hiyo. Salad Salad Oil mpya yenye kifuniko maalum kinachokusaidia kumimina bila tashwishi. Mafuta haya hayana cholesterol kwa afya tele. Isitoshe, bei yake nafuu ajabu. Bidhaa bora kutoka Pwani Oil Products Limited. Ijaribu leo.
Leo utakula nyumbani.
Hi, I'm here in China FM 103.1, actually right at the entrance, and today we'll be having a very interesting topic, and the topic that we are asking is about women, and the question is, do you think leadership position should be given to women just because they're women? And heading over to a very fast person who will be interviewing, Newton Adika. Hi, how are you, sir?
I'm good, sir.
So do you think women leadership position should be given to women just because they're women?
Yes, I think they should be given, since they're the ones who understand their problems more than men. So I think some seats which are meant for women should only be left for women, since they understand themselves better. A man cannot understand some of the issues that women go through, so I think that the leadership positions that are meant for women should only be given to women. Yeah.
So moving on swiftly, we'll be talking to a lady this time, and remember the topic is about women and leadership, and the question is, do you think leadership position should be given to women just because they're women? And heading over to the place where guys normally record their news, Joanne Bataro is waiting for us. Hi Joanne.
Hi.
So do you think leadership position should be given to women just because they are women?
I think leadership positions for both genders should be given to people who are competent in what they're doing. It shouldn't be because someone is a woman, someone is attractive, someone is rich, but because they have the abilities to do that job.
Well, there you have it, and this is Real Time Show. My name is Tevin Shera.
Spoken art in Kenya is growing tremendously. To some, it brings food to the table. Is spoken word a career, or is it a passion?
Spoken art is arguably one of the most congested art we have in Kenya today. We have stand-up comedy and events that are widely graced by spoken word artists.
I think it's more of a talent because it's expressive of what you feel from inside and what's around.
Me, I would take spoken word as a passion. According to me, I would think it as a passion. Then when you get that's when
because I don't think you can take it up as something that will actually need something.
Well, as for me, I think it's supposed to be passion first. When it comes to when we're talking about career.
Spoken art has managed to put food on the table for some, while for others, it has polished up on their thinking. So Abe, would you agree that spoken word is arguably one of the most congested arts we have in Kenya today?
Well, I wouldn't say congested. Well, there's really no way to know whether it's congested or not. There's no statistic that shows there's this number of spoken word artists in Kenya, so we can't really say it's congested, but one thing is for sure is it's a growing art, and a lot of people are getting into the art, and it's gaining prominence slowly.
So where would you categorize spoken word? Is it a career or is it passion?
It can be both, but actually it has to start with passion. Because if you don't have passion for something, then there's no use doing it. But it'd be really cool if you can earn a living out of something you love, your passion. So I wouldn't say it's a career as of yet, although there's only a few people who are doing spoken word, who are doing poetry as a career. But yeah, just like I said, it's a growing prominence, and maybe in the next 5-10 years, people will be making a living out of spoken word, just like they make a living out of music. And
for anyone that is, say, passion-driven about poetry, would you advise them to join, or is it capable of paying their bills?
It is. Anything is capable of paying your bills, but it depends, how much work are you willing to put. You might be the most talented person out there, but how much work are you willing to put? And like I say, poetry is, spoken word is basically people sharing their stories, and ideologies, and it challenges people. So if people can appreciate what you do and they're willing to pay to listen to you, then yeah, slowly by slowly you start making records and selling stuff. So yeah, it's possible. If you have the passion and commitment, you can actually make it.
Spoken art artists have admitted to have started way back in high school, while others started in campus, and others it has been born naturally. For the Real Time Show, my name is Grace Chan.
Quite a comprehensive report by our reporter Grace Chalo, and in line with that report, we're going to base our topic for today, of which is spoken word. Is it a career or is it a passion? And in studio today, I'm glad to be joined by the most talented spoken word artist. She goes by the name Gloria Muivanda. Welcome to our studios.
Thank you.
First things first, introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Gloria Muivanda, and I'm a spoken word artist and overall artist. Yeah, basically.
Okay, so for how long have you been doing spoken word?
I first started writing poetry before I started doing spoken word. So spoken word, say, since I was 13.
What are some of the platforms you perform?
I went to Slum last year and also this year. The Lyceum opening, National Theatre, various events. Yeah, I love to be out there with other artists. Talking to people through spoken word. Yeah, I don't like to just sit around with the talent and just write, but performing. Yeah.
If I may ask, yes, I don't want to sound biased, but in the sense that a spoken word industry is dominated by male.
Yeah.
Do you feel any challenges? Have you ever had any challenges in terms of performing your pieces?
Yes, I've had challenges, but they're not because I am a lady. I think it's just your attitude in not just in spoken word, but in every industry. Whatever thing you're working on, you have to have an attitude that like whatever comes your way, you like do your best and be the best.
Okay. Since you call yourself a spoken word artist, what can you say is your unique point? Like, I believe there's so many spoken word artists, both male and female.
Yeah.
What makes you unique in your pieces?
I don't think anyone can do spoken word like I do, because everyone is uniquely different. So my unique point is me, basically.
And for you, is it a passion or is it a career? Do you go to school to read, to be taught about a spoken word? Is it something that it's deep down your heart? As for you,
okay, no one really teaches you when you have a talent for something unless you like choose to specify in that. But for spoken word, it's a passion for me, and yeah, I plan on doing it for as long as I can talk.
And what, if I may ask, what's your main goal, like an aim? Do you want to create awareness?
My main goal as a spoken word artist is to speak for as many people as I can, because I consider myself as a spoken word artist a storyteller who tells stories of other people and expose the society as it is. So my goal is to speak for as many people as possible.
I'm sure our viewers would like to hear some of your pieces. I will give you at least 30 seconds of your time for you to give at least a line of a verse of your piece.
Okay. The piece is called When the Revolution Comes, and I'll just give the first verse. Satan be gone, get on. Satan be gone. Satan be gone, get on. Satan be gone. When the revolution comes, guns and rifles take the place of poems and aces. Music will turn noise in Shakespeare's stages, stake upon which all sanity is burnt, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. When the revolution comes.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for coming to us today. We are going for a short commercial break, but after, we are going to have a hyper-local report. Please don't touch that dial.
Downy Concentrate, world's #1. In the morning the chase starts and he wonders why is that? Poor David. Back from school it's evening time. They are here, he needs to run. Poor David. Stressed and sweating top to toe. Auntie still don't let him go. What is the secret of the hug? It's Downy Concentrate Fabric Softener. Use it in the last rinse. Soak your clothes in it for fresh clothes even when you sweat. Downy Concentrate.
Hello, my name is Huxley, and on today's episode we are going to talk about arts. So my question is back to the viewers and those who I'm going to interview. Is spoken word a career or is spoken word a passion? So luckily I met with this young lady over here, and let's hear on her opinions. So do you think spoken word is a career or do you think spoken word is a passion?
I think it's both.
Why?
Because when it comes to a passion, it's all about the emotions. So if you're doing spoken word as a passion, it's about what it makes you feel. And if you're doing it as a career, it's about earning the living and
So according to you, it's both?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Hope to see you next time. So we've heard on her. Let me walk and see if I can get more and maybe get their opinions. So luckily I met with another lady over here, and let us hear on her opinions. So hi.
Hi.
Do you think spoken word is a career or do you think spoken word is a passion?
Personally, I think spoken word is a passion that eventually evolves into a career. Yes.
So that's according to you?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we've also had our opinions. Okay, let me walk and see if I can get more, maybe the last one. And so luckily I met with a gentleman right now. So how are you?
I'm fine, man.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think spoken word is a career or do you think spoken word is a passion?
I think spoken word is a career because currently it is making a lot of money. So if you get there well, you can make life out of it. That's my opinion.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for the viewers. I appreciate.
Many thanks for watching Real Time Show season finale. Till next season, remember, a bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking because her trust is not on the branch but on her wings. Always believe in yourself. Many thanks. I've been your host, Winnie Maganga. God bless.